Latin America is home to one of the fastest growing aviation industries in the world. Today, we're in Colombia, which boasts the third largest and fastest growing aviation market within the region. In this video, we'll not only discuss Colombian aviation, but also one airline's fascinating history with the country. Copa Airlines, the flag carrier of Panama, has played a crucial role in helping bolster the Colombian market, and we'll be covering that story today as we fly from Bogota to Panama City on the 737-800. Bienvenidos a Bogota, the capital of Colombia and the fourth largest metropolitan area in all of South America. I really enjoyed my short stay in Bogota and hope to return to Colombia someday to explore more of the country. Colombia's aviation market is the third largest in Latin America, trailing only Mexico and Brazil. The aviation sector is expected to continue growing rapidly over the coming years, supported by the Colombian Civil Aviation Authority's $300 million national investment plan to modernize airport infrastructure and enhance nationwide connectivity. But before we go any further, let's get to the airport for our flight to Panama City. Buenas tardes from El Dorado International Airport, Colombia's primary gateway to the world and the second busiest airport in Latin America. Currently, Bogota is just barely overtaken by Sao Paulo Guarulhos for Latin America's busiest airport, as between January and May 2026, Guarulhos served just under 19.4 million passengers, while El Dorado served just over 19 million. The overall check-in, passport control, and security experience was fairly straightforward and completed within 25 minutes. Given that I had so much time to spend before my flight, I spent most of it plane spotting and walking around the terminal. Now, if it wasn't obvious by now, Bogota is a pretty busy airport. Over 30 international airlines serve the airport, with the newest addition, Qatar Airways, beginning service on July 22nd. The major international markets from Bogota are North America, specifically cities like Miami, New York, and Fort Lauderdale, and Latin America, cities like Mexico City, Panama City, Cancun, Santiago, and Lima. However, despite European traffic accounting for just a fraction of that going to North and Latin America, Madrid was actually the second busiest international destination from Bogota in 2023. Today, the Bogota to Madrid route sees up to 8 daily flights, with 4 from Avianca, 3 from Iberia, and 1 from Air Europa. Bogota is the primary hub for Avianca, and Avianca itself has been Colombia's flag carrier since its founding in 1919. That is, despite Avianca having multiple branches across Latin America, including in Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Ecuador. A lot of former legacy Latin American flag carriers today are all operated under Avianca Group, including LACSA, the former flag carrier of Costa Rica, to whom this A320 retro tail pays tribute. Going back to Colombia's aviation market, tourism recovery, improved airport infrastructure, and especially rising household incomes will continue fueling the demand for air travel here. Not only that, but air travel will always be essential for domestic travel in Colombia. There is no strong road or rail network throughout the country, primarily because of the terrain. As such, airlines like Avianca, LATAM, Satena, and Click continue playing a crucial role in connecting the nation. And just so you have an idea of how big domestic air travel is in Colombia, back in 2023, domestic flights accounted for 77% of the traffic at Bogota Airport. So that was some insight into Colombia's growing aviation industry, but now it's time to discuss the interesting history that Copa Airlines has had with the country. Copa is one of the largest, and I'd say the largest, international airline serving Colombia, with 10 destinations in the country. But Copa's contributions to Colombian aviation aren't just limited to its route network, as the airline has been directly involved in the domestic market since 2006. Now let me stop there for a moment as our aircraft just pulled in. You'll notice that it's being tugged into the gate, and I think this is for safety reasons because you'll notice that building in the background. I guess because of the proximity, the aircraft using gates in this specific area have to keep the engines off when arriving at the gates. Copa has consistently been ranked as the most punctual airline in the Americas and the second most punctual in the entire world, which is especially helped by the fact that boarding starts an entire hour early. This afternoon, I'm in 22A and the seats are comfortable enough for the short hop back to Panama. The seats themselves are rather basic with the usual amenities, but I really appreciate each passenger getting their own USB A and C ports. Seatback screens used to be a thing on Copa, but I guess they quietly got rid of them in economy class in favor of streaming entertainment via the Show Pass app. In 2006, Copa purchased Aerorepublica, a domestic Colombian airline, and its aircraft then began wearing liveries mimicking Copa's, with Aerorepublica titles and the Colombian flag. Under Copa's control, the airline got rid of its old DC-9s and MD-81s, keeping the MD-82s and 83s for a few more years. Embraer 190s were the backbone of the operation, first arriving in 2007. By 2010, Aerorepublica had changed its name to Copa Airlines Colombia, and this was the year that the MD-80s were all retired, with some 737-700s transferred in from the mainline Copa fleet. Later, as Copa streamlined its fleet to entirely 737s, the E190s were all retired in 2019. It was around that same time that the Copa Airlines Colombia branding began to fade away as the 737s were reintegrated into the mainline Copa fleet. Today, Copa Airlines Colombia and Aerorepublica continue to exist on paper, but physically the airline is called Wingo. Wingo is a Colombian low-cost airline operating a fleet of 10 737-800s, all transferred from Copa to 18 destinations across not just Colombia but 9 other countries. Wingo might not be as big as Avianca or LATAM, but it does help play a role in connecting Colombia and, most importantly, making air travel more affordable for Colombians. and bienvenidos a Panama City, where I'll have about 3 hours before my onward flight to Chicago. We've saved the best flight for last, so stay tuned for that video coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Until I see you next time, take care, nos vemos, y adios.